A very good morning to you.
A very good morning indeed, Vale. And we are standing outside the ZK Matthews house that is to be renovated and revamped to be brought back to its former glory. And indeed, the president is expected to come here and unveil the architectural design of the house. Plans are to make sure that it depicts and it looks like the house that it was when ZK Matthews was still living here with his family. There are plans in place. We've seen a lot of officials coming in and out to make sure that it is exactly like it should be. But top on the agenda, Valen, is to make sure that this house is a heritage site. It is going to be turned into a leadership center where the youth of Alice and surrounding areas are to come here and learn about the history and the legacy of ZK Matthews. Lots of job opportunities are expected to be created. As things stand, it has been under police guard, like the campus of Fort Hare following the protest. We are expecting the institution to also revamp other historic sites that were those of the people that studied at Fort Hare. They are making plans, and they've also said that there is going to be a museum and information center inside this house. Those are the plans, and the family has welcomed these, and they are going to work together with the family to make sure that this house is of the circuit of ZK Matthews. With that, from here in the ZK Matthews house, back to you in studio. Palesa.
Well, thank you very much to Busi Jemsana live from Professor ZK Matthews' house. Well, it's back to the university at Fort Hare University as we're still talking the centenary celebration of Fort Hare University. So if you are one of the alumni or just a member of the public, please do use hashtag #MyFortHare to communicate to us. Maybe share your stories if you've been to this university. Share some pictures or anything that you want to talk to us about regarding the Fort Hare University. MyFortHare, it's hashtag #MyFortHare, or you can even go to our Twitter handle on Morning Live at Morning Live SABC and talk to us about Fort Hare Universities. Now, we've had all sides of the stories here at the university. Now it's time to talk to the Vice Chancellor of the university. Just to hear more about the university, he is Dr. Mvuyo Tom. Dr. Tom, a very good morning to you, and thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Palesa, and good morning to the listeners.
Thank you very much indeed for your time once again. Now, it's only fair to, just to go back. Just before the celebration started, we saw a protest by the students who had their demands. How are things now?
Palisa, things are safe and conducive for holding a celebration, a historic celebration for the University of Fort Hare. We have had this protest, as you have correctly said, and we have tried our best to have discussions with the students to settle everything that needed to be settled and agree on timeframes for those things that can be done later.
Okay, so basically all the parties involved are happy now?
From our side, we think everybody is happy. We still have some confusion amongst some of the students, of course, and we just think that's the fringe element that was not prepared for anything but for derailing the celebrations.
Okay, no, well, we have actually witnessed that there isn't anything happening at the campus currently. Everything looks good. Large police contingents as well. We were here even last night. Security is very tight, I must indicate. Now on to the celebrations, Dr. Tom. We do know that President Jacob Zuma is expected to deliver his keynote address. The President of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, will be talking to some of the alumni. Just give us a brief of the program. How are things going to unfold today?
Well, the beginning will be our brand new Chancellor welcoming the guests to the University of Fort Hare. That's Reverend Makengesi Stofile, and followed by the Premier of the province, who will also make opening remarks. Following that, there will be messages of support, which will be coming from various stakeholders of the University of Fort Hare. And then, of course, it will be the President of Zimbabwe, our alumni, the only remaining head of state from the 5 that were produced by the University of Fort Hare. And I do understand we've got 6 because the current Prime Minister of Lesotho is also an alumnus of the University of Fort Hare. So that's the 6th one. We've always been mentioning 5. And therefore, after that, the President of the Republic will be doing the main speech of the day. This is Africa Month, and that's why the President decided to hold this celebration in the month of May. And I think he will be conveying that message that we all have to build Africa. Building Africa started at the University of Fort Hare as well, because we produced those people who led the liberation struggles in those countries.
Better Africa and a better world. That's the theme for Africa Month. But now, tell us about, you're expecting about 2,500 attendees to the event.
Yes, it may be more because we've got this overflow marquee, which is on the fields. The 2,500 will be accommodated in the main venue, which is the sports complex. And amongst those will be many alumni of the University of Fort Hare. We had a great moment yesterday when we met some of them in East London. We had a celebration of writers, people who have published books, who are alumni of the University of Fort Hare yesterday. So I could see the mood from there, that people are happy to be back home, because this is a home for many, an African student in the continent of Africa.
Well, they certainly are. Quickly tell us about the blazer. Is this an alumni blazer?
This is an alumni blazer, and it's worn by those who have been labeled as alumni of the University of Fort Hare.
Okay, now we've also seen the IFP President, Dr. Mangosuthu Buthelezi, in the very same blazer. It's an alumni blazer for Fort Hare University. That's the Vice Chancellor of the university, Dr. Tom, talking to us about, the university and the program, how will it unfold today. Well, we're taking a break. When we come back, Peter will be talking to the former SRC President of Fort Hare University, Becky Kumalo. You stay tuned.